Pretty clear. I mean, we got to do what we have to do to win, and given that we're playing a very good team, which we generally are, I mean, there's not going to be too much looking ahead. I think we know what we have to do, and we just got to go out and play well. We need to play well offensively, defensively. We need to play well for 40 minutes. I don't think our guys will be focused too much on the next run. I think we got to think they're going to be focused on the task at hand.
Jimmy mentioned playing well. How do you feel your team is playing heading in?
Well, I mean, I don't think we played well in our last game. If that's the barometer, we obviously played well. Played better in the second half. Out rebounded by 16. I mean, it shows some things, but obviously we've got to execute it better offensively. We've got to rebound for 40 minutes. We've got to defend better, and that was probably the most disappointing thing. Obviously, our field goal percentage defense is one of the best in the conference, and it certainly wasn't the other day. So that's what stands out. So we've got to do something about it. I mean, that's a Thursday. We'll be playing a week later. We got to be a better team than what we were that week.
Jamie, you've talked about the youth on the team a little bit. You have 5 guys who've never played in the NCAA tournament. How do you get those guys ready, or how much do you let the other guys who have played maybe do the talking in terms of getting them mentally prepared for what they face?
Well, we haven't really, focused on that. I mean, we've been a team that, given the fact that we've talked about having some newer guys, but we've talked about. I said our freshmen have to be sophomores, and not too many teams are starting 2 freshmen, so kind of designated them to be sophomores early on in the year, and they go from there. But I think we've got to, at this point in the season, there's, we've seen everything we need to see, and our guys understand it, and there's no excuse for inexperience at this point.
I know you haven't seen the film condition playing them before. Just a quick stat.
Guys, we got a bunch of players still over here. We're going to let them go here in a minute. So
On Wichita State? Yeah, I know they run a lot of sets. I know they run a lot of things. I know they have some junior college guys, a lot of guys that are. I don't know a lot about them as far as individually what they are, but I know the sets that they run. I don't know that those haven't changed from year to year, and so I anticipate seeing a lot of that. But a lot of half-court stuff, a lot of they can throw a little three-quarter court press in there, and I know that can change defenses a little bit too, but mainly man-to-man.
Sounds almost like the biggest.
Yeah, they are. They're a physical team. I think they take great pride in their physicality. I think they're always a team that, for their conference, is size and strength is always one of their strengths, their attributes, and so that's something that I anticipate that they play to again this year.
Jamie, Woodall mentioned that he didn't watch the tournament last year. That it was, and even when it was their apartment's next door to Console, he said it didn't hurt him to go over. Did you watch?
Oh, we were pretty busy.
Your own thing going on, but I mean, not even.
I never do really, because given the situation. I mean, usually we're out, playing, and if you're not, you're out recruiting. I mean, there's just not a lot of free time to sit around and relax at that time of year. So I don't think it was any yet different than last year than the previous years. Let's put it that way. So I mean, if you can catch a game, but sitting down for 2 hours and watching a game, not a lot of time that's happening. During that time of year for us, and I was out recruiting on Friday. After we lost this Thursday, I was out recruiting Friday, so I just kind of gives you an idea.
Did it feel different though? I mean, the tournament you played in was important in terms of getting experience, but I mean, it wasn't the same.
Well, no, it wasn't the same, but I mean, a lot of the time it was when you're playing the game, when you're preparing. There's obvious similarities, and when obviously there's other times where it was obviously not the NCAA tournament. So yeah, I mean, it's different. It's different, but playing is playing, as we know, and our players know, and preparation is always takes up so much of your time that there isn't a lot of other time for things. It really isn't. It doesn't matter who you're playing, what tournament you're playing in. I mean, it doesn't change regular season, non-conference, league games, tournaments. There's not a lot of free time. You're not sitting there thinking where you're playing them at, or what event you're playing them in. It's all about getting ready and preparing.
Any concern about Dante's eye? It still looks a little swollen.
Yeah, a little swollen.
I'm
yeah.
being polite.
You know, I think it's. I thought might be able to go today, but obviously wasn't. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, it's like our guys to be able to go and practice, but he hasn't been able to, and hopefully he'll be ready tomorrow.
And would you encourage him to wear some sort of protective eyewear? I mean, he said, "I'm not wearing no goggles."
Yeah, no, I hadn't thought about that. I've seen other guys. I mean, it's. I've had a few of those, and as I told them, and I don't remember wearing any protective eyewear. They may not have had that stuff back then, but.
No Rambus type gear for you?
No, I don't think so. I don't know that. I've never seen that with somebody. Yeah, maybe something else, another different injury, maybe a broken nose or something, or some other type of injury. But I know for this, it happens a little bit more than you think, I guess.
Maybe I don't know if you've ever seen them this year, Wichita State this year at all.
Yeah,
You need
but
enough time to scout it.
none.
They go 10 deep though, and they have
Yeah.
10 guys who play at least 10 minutes, very similar to yours. I don't know what their production is like.
Right,
They do have.
yeah.
They're going to match you depth-wise.
I think they've always played that way. As I remember when we played them back 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that was their thing as well. So I think that's something that they do. They always seem to have depth. They always try to stay old. I think bringing junior college guys in is part of that. Transfers. I think that's something what they try to do. So I think that's something that's consistent in their program and what they've done.
How did you like that look on Thursday with Duran at the 2 and Lamar at 3? I'm not sure how long you did it, but how did you like it?
It's something we've looked at, we've practiced with, we've played with in games at times. It's something that we think can be good for us. I think Duran has improved. I think that's the biggest factor for that. I think he's better for us. He's improved defensively, blocking out. I think those are the things that really overside that. But I think he's heading in the right direction that way. That's why we've looked at it and used it more during games and in practice.
Coach, if I'm not mistaken, is Mark Few a good friend of yours?
Yeah.
I know you're not looking past the next game, but your thoughts at least maybe seeing him.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, in this thing, you're going to probably see or play against somebody that you know pretty well, and you've been doing it for a while, and so most of the other guys have been in this. So yeah, we cross paths more than you think, and I think I know Coach Marshall too pretty well too. Now obviously not as close as Coach Few, but yeah, it's pretty common that you're going to play somebody that you know pretty well.
Wasn't he at your first win?
Was he?
Didn't play him, but wasn't he?
We didn't
at the
play them.
Garden?
Yeah, they were at the Garden.
And I think he
That
was the
a long
first
time
one to
ago.
congratulate you
Oh,
coming
was
off
that?
the ramp when you got your first
I
win.
didn't remember. You got better memory than me.
I was standing there, that's why I remembered it.
Well, we were longtime friends when he was assistant at Gonzaga, and I was assistant wherever it was. Just when I was getting started, I know he was in there earlier, and so we got to know him. I got to know him more too when they were when he was assistant there, and we were in the Big Sky, and we would go up there and play in Eastern Washington and Spokane. So yeah, there's a lot of familiar, good friends.
What's your experience in Salt Lake? You said you've played there before.
Well, we played in there when we played Utah in the WAC when I was there, and then we played in the NCAA tournament when I was at Hawaii. We played Syracuse, and we played in Salt Lake. No, that's not right. That's not right. No, we played. That was in Weaver. We stayed in Salt Lake. We played.
You were at Weaver?
No. We played at Weaver. I'm trying to think other times. I guess just trying to think other guys. I've been there more, but we played there when I was in the WAC at Hawaii. So we played Utah there. I'm trying to think if the tournament was there. I guess that would be the times that I've been there. Those 3 times. Never taken Pitt there. Never taken Pitt there. I still think there was some other times that we went there. I can't think of that right now off the top of my head. Been there a lot in Salt Lake, obviously playing, going through the recruiting, the junior colleges, and then playing BYU, playing Utah, playing Weaver State when we were in the Big Sky. So obviously I've been through there a lot, and I would think only maybe 3 games that we played when I was in Hawaii at University of Utah.
Is that altitude initially?
You know, I talked to the guys about it. It's going to be asked. It's going to be talked about. I mean, coming from, I know all about the altitude, being in the big sky, being in Flagstaff. It's you know, at NAU in Flagstaff, the visitors' locker room, they had a big sign that would say caution, you're at a high altitude, and they put it right in front of the visitors' locker room. So if any shortage of breath, stop all exercise. So you know, it's something that'll be brought up. It'll be tried to use to advantage by those teams that play at a higher altitude. But I found that when we were bad at it, when we weren't very good, it didn't matter what altitude we were in. When we got good, the altitude looked pretty good for us.
Will depth help for guys?
Yeah, I like I said, I don't think it's going to be too much a factor. You know, I think that's something that's again gets talked about, but I've seen it on both ends.
Jim, what's the key to making a run? And I mean, is it just simple as playing 40 minutes?
Yeah, you're gonna have to win close games. Is probably what it's going to get down to. There's a real small difference between making a run and not making a run. It's usually winning a couple close games. But, it seems like a big difference, and you got to win it. You probably got to win close games. I mean, that's what it is. You're not going to play great all the way through. You've got to find a way and make a plays at the end.
You have 5 guys that have first experiences before. Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's it is we've